So we are now in the month of December, and the NBA All-Star voting will be starting this month. And I'm really excited to do this video. We're going to name every NBA team's most likely All-Star for the 2023-24 season. They're going to be placed into 5 percentage buckets: 0%, 25, 50, 75, and 100. Obviously, multiple teams on this list will have multiple All-Stars this season. So I'm just going to be talking about like the guaranteed lock. Obviously, 2 teams could have 2 100% guaranteed All-Stars, like the LA Lakers or the Milwaukee Bucks. If you guys do enjoy this video, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these picks down below. You have to remember too that these All-Star selections, it's a little bit due to popularity, the All-Star game. And Barnes is a forward having a career year in year 3, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists a night. He's shooting great from the field and from 3, 45% from the field, 38% from 3. And we know how good of a defender he is for the Raptors. He's also averaging 1.6 steals a night and 1.3 blocks a night. Me personally, I think Scottie Barnes should be an All-Star this season, but the reason I have it at 50% is because the Raptors are an okay team. They might be a fringe team that may just not get one single All-Star. And there's a lot of good forwards that are deserving of an All-Star appearance in the Eastern Conference, but I do think Scottie Barnes has a solid chance at getting in for the first time. Next up, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell, who I believe has a 100% chance as an All-Star this year. Yep, I think he is a guaranteed lock. Donovan Mitchell this season is averaging 27.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists a night. He's shooting 45% from the field, 34% from 3, and 91% from the line. Mitchell has only played his minutes this year as a point guard or a shooting guard, but I do think he will be a lock as a guard to make it. He's a well-known player. He's made it the past couple of seasons. He is the best player on this Cavs team that may only get one All-Star. You could say that Evan Mobley or Darius Garland has a shot at making it, but Mitchell definitely has the best chance. And I think just what he is as a player, his pedigree in the league, his popularity, and him putting up 27, 5, and 5 should guarantee him a spot as an All-Star this season. We have another lock, 100% guarantee, but he's a guard in the Western Conference, and that is De'Aaron Fox. Yep, De'Aaron Fox is having an incredible year. You could say he should be in the MVP conversation right now. In 12 games so far for the Kings, he's averaging 30.5 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. He's shooting also 49% from the field and 36% from 3, and is a huge reason why the Kings are 10-7 so far. And he did miss 5 games at the moment I'm recording this video, so the Kings would be a lot better because their record with Fox this year has been phenomenal. They are 8-4 in the 12 games he's played in and are one of the best offensive teams in the league when he's on the floor. Fox made his first All-Star appearance last year, and I do think he's a lock to get in this year. All right, we have the biggest lock of all time coming up next. 100%, no doubt about it. It's LeBron James of the LA Lakers. So yeah, I do think the Lakers will have 2 locks. I do believe LeBron and Anthony Davis will get in. And LeBron, he's the most popular player in the league. He's arguably the most popular player of all time. He's in year number 21. He's gonna be 39 years old this month. And he's also having an incredible season. This isn't like an end of career like Dirk Nowitzki All-Star vote in. No, LeBron James is playing like an All-Star this year. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists a night from a 38-year-old. That is just incredible to even say. 56% from the field, almost 40% from 3, which is by far a career high for LeBron right now. He's been a phenomenal 3-point shooter this year for the Lakers. Yeah, and maybe they haven't had the best start at 11-9, but they are still a solid team in the league, and it's mainly due to LeBron James. This one is sad, man. So I wanted to talk about LaMelo Ball next of the Charlotte Hornets, and I unfortunately have to put this at a 0%. I originally had this at a 50 or 75% because he's been balling this year, but he suffered a serious right ankle sprain and is going to miss a lot of time, so I think he will be ineligible for the All-Star game, sadly, because LaMelo Ball has been phenomenal this year. He had a pretty rough start, though, but over the final 9 games leading up to his injury, he was playing maybe the best basketball out of anybody in the NBA. In that 9-game stretch, he was averaging 32 points on 49% field goal shooting, 44% three-point shooting, shooting 88% from the line, also averaging 8.7 assists per game, 6.7 rebounds, over a steal and a half a night, and the Hornets were playing around 500 basketball. But yeah, with LaMelo Ball being hurt, there's plenty of Eastern Conference guards that are deserving of an All-Star spot this year, and if he doesn't come back even before the All-Star game, I doubt he's going to get in. He would need to probably play another 15 or so games before the All-Star voting concludes to maybe be in consideration, but that is probably not going to happen, so I don't think that the Hornets are going to have an All-Star this season, because it's not going to be Terry Rozier, it's not going to be Mark Williams, it's not going to be Brandon Miller, and while all those 3 players have been pretty solid this season, I just don't think Charlotte is going to get an All-Star in the 2024 season. All right, next up, we have Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to put this at a 25% right now. So we all know that the Grizzlies have been probably the biggest disappointment in the NBA. They are 4-13 at the moment I'm recording this video, mainly due to the suspension of Ja Morant, who's still going to be out another 8 games. And Desmond Bane has been solid for the Grizzlies this year, definitely been their best player over Marcus Smart or Triple J. and Bane is averaging 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. The efficiency has been there at times, but sometimes you have to think it could be empty stats on a bad team because it has not translated to winning this year for Memphis. He does benefit by playing a little bit at the small forward position and a lot of his minutes at the shooting guard position, so he could be both guard and forward eligible. I just think there's going to be plenty of other guys in the West that will make it in over him. All right, next up, we have a surprising one. It's the Brooklyn Nets. I thought I was going to be making this about Mikal Bridges, who's having a solid year for Brooklyn, but no, it's going to be Cam Thomas, and it's at a 50% right now. So the reason why it's not maybe at a 75% chance, it's because he did miss some time, but the moment I'm recording this video, he just came back last night for the Nets and looked like he never left. In 24 minutes, he put up 26 points on 52% shooting and 40% from three. He is just a straight bucket this year. I cannot ignore his stat line at 27 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, shooting 48% from the field, 32% from three, and 84% from the line. The Nets at this current moment are 9-9, and I do think if they get an all-star this year, it's going to be Cam Thomas over Mikal Bridges. We'll see where their record is when the voting ends. We'll see how popular Cam Thomas is around his peers and coaches and fans around the league. And it's only been 9 games for Cam Thomas, so I'd like to see this for a little bit more time before I say this is a 75% chance or 100% chance, but he has been so good for Brooklyn this year, and there's a good chance he could be an all-star. All right, I'm not going to put this player at 100% chance. I'm going to do it at a 75 just because I don't want to jinx it and I don't want to get my hopes up. But as a Knicks fan, we got to talk about Jalen Brunson. Brunson has been absolutely incredible this year for the Knicks. He did start off struggling maybe in the first 2 or 3 games, but over his last 11 games, the dude is averaging 27 points on 51% shooting, 52% from three on 7.5 attempts a night. He's an elite free throw shooter. He averages 6.5 assists, and the Knicks are 8-3 over those 11 games. In my opinion, as a biased Knicks fan, I'd probably put this at 100% chance, or he's deserving of 100%, but there's a lot of good Eastern Conference guards. We've talked about a couple already, like Donovan Mitchell, Cam Thomas. We'll get to a bunch throughout the rest of this video. So it's definitely not a lock for Brunson to get in, but I do think he should make his first All-Star appearance here in 2024. All right, we have a guaranteed lock. He's arguably the best player in the NBA, and that's Nikola Jokic, so 100% chance for him. I mean, what's there to say about Jokic? He should be making his 6th All-Star appearance. He will be a starter. He's averaging 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists a night. The dude is shooting 57% from the field. He may be the best offensive player we have ever seen in the history of the sport just because of how good he is as a passer, as a scorer. He can make such difficult shots, and maybe it's not the flashiest of time, but he could just impact the game offensively in so many ways. The Nuggets are 13-6, second seed in the West at the moment I'm recording this video, and they miss Jamal Murray, their second best player, for an extended time as well. So yeah, Jokic is definitely a lock to make the All-Star game and as a starter this year in my opinion. Who would have thought that in year 3 of the 2021 draft class, we would be saying that the best player in this class is Alperen Şengün, but he's been playing like it this season. So I'm going to give Şengün a 75% chance, not putting it at 100 because there's a lot of good forwards and centers in the West, but I feel like putting him at a 50% chance would be a little bit disrespectful to him because Şengün this year in year 3 has improved in every aspect of his game offensively, and it's translating into wins as well. I think also a main part is due to his new role in the Ime Udoka system. Şengün's averaging 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists a night. He's been efficient from the field. He hasn't been a liability on the defensive end like maybe we saw in years prior. So Şengün has been him this season, and we may see him get his first time All-Star appearance this year as well. All right, let's talk about a big, probably polarizing topic that will be, should he be an All-Star, should he not be? And that's Victor Wembanyama. So Wemby, and if you look at his stats this year and you look and see how bad the Spurs have been, probably should be at a 0% chance, but just because every media outlet and probably fan loves him, I gotta put it at least a 25% chance. He's having an historic rookie season. We have not seen somebody as a 19-year-old basically since LeBron come in and dominate at times like he has this season. Yes, he's been inconsistent. I mean, the Spurs team is not great. They're 3-15. They haven't really had a lead point guard throughout the year. They experimented with Jeremy Shohan, gone back to Trey Jones at times. Their defense, without him on the floor, has left a lot to be desired at times as well. I mean, Wemby's putting up good counting stats, 19 points, 9 rebounds a night, leading the NBA in blocks though at 2.7. His efficiency though hasn't been good. Like I mentioned, the Spurs also worst team in the league. So I think at times, like, will the tiebreaker go to a team that's just a little bit better? Like, you can have Şengün and Wemby maybe are going to get that last forward and center spot, but they may give it to Şengün just because the Rockets are a little bit better in the West. And I'd love to know in the comments, do you think Wemby should make the All-Star game this year? Because it is the game with the NBA's most entertaining and popular players. All right, we got a lock here. Joel Embiid, 100% chance he makes it. The Sixers could have 2 All-Stars as well. Like, Maxi's going to be right up there in the running. But Embiid, still having a great year. He's the reigning MVP. He's averaging 32 points and 11 rebounds. Also averaging a career high in assists per game by over 2 at 6.6. Still a very good defender as well. And there's a great chance he's going to be an All-Star starter, for sure. All right, we got another 100% chance player here in the Eastern Conference as a forward. It's Embiid's kryptonite. It's Jason Tatum. I mean, yeah, Tatum's right up there in the MVP conversation. He's the best player on the best team this year for the 14-4 Celtics. He's averaging just under 30 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's been elite shooting the ball. He's a very solid defender as well. And yeah, if you're the best player on the best team record-wise, you're probably going to be a lock. All right, this next player is the opposite of a lock. Let's talk about Jeremy Grant and the Portland Trail Blazers. I unfortunately have to put him at a 0% chance. I don't think he gets in. Maybe this is a little bit disrespectful to Jeremy, not putting him at least a 25% chance, because he's been good this year. He's kind of lived up to his $30 million a year contract for the Blazers, averaging 23 points, shooting 45% from the field, 43% from 3, and 81% from the line. Grant is also a solid defender as well. He gets into passing lanes, he can stay on ball at a good level, and he averages around an assist and block a night. But I think the main driving point that's going to put Grant not in the All-Star game is because the Blazers really aren't that good this year. They're 6-12. We've already talked about a plenty of forwards and centers in the Western Conference, and only 7 can make it. So maybe there's a chance Jeremy Grant could get in with injury. I just really wouldn't bet on it. Going to 0 to 100 real quick, let's talk about Luka Doncic, who's obviously a lock, 100% chance to make the All-Star game, probably as a starter as well. Luka is right up there in the MVP conversation, having a career year once again in age 24, averaging 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, and has been the most efficient he's ever been so far in his career. 49% from the field, 39% from 3, and 77% from the line. The Dallas Mavericks are one of the better teams in the Western Conference as well. They are 11-6 on the season, and Luka, like Tatum, LeBron, and Embiid, is a guaranteed lock to make the All-Star game. All right, Cade Cunningham, man. Maybe before the season started, you thought he could be most improved, definitely an All-Star. Well, yeah, he's probably the highest percent chance to guy to make it on the Pistons, but it's at 0%. They're the worst team in the league. The Pistons really went winless in the month of November. They are 2-17 on the year. This team does not deserve any single All-Star. If it was going to be one player, though, it would be Cade, and I feel bad for him at times because he's just asked to do so much on this team and doesn't get much help. Cade is putting up good counting stats, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists a night, but he has not been too efficient this year, shooting well below average from the field and from 3. He's also turned the ball over a ton, but that can coincide with just him having to do so much for the Pistons team, but he is leading the league in turnovers. I do feel bad for Cade at times. Hopefully with Bojan Bogdanovic coming back, the Pistons will look a little bit better. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see an All-Star from the Pistons this season. There have been so many good Eastern Conference guards we have talked about. Already have talked about Jalen Brunson, Cam Thomas, Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo Ball, and Cade Cunningham. But now we got to talk about Tyrese Haliburton, who is 100% deserving of his second All-Star appearance. Haliburton is having an MVP caliber season for the Pacers. This dude is shooting 52% from the field, 45% from 3, and 88% from the line. He's almost at a 50-40-90 clip, averaging 27 freaking points. This is like prime Steph Curry numbers. 3.5 rebounds, and also 12 assists a night. He's leading the league in assists. He's probably the most impactful player to a team right now. This Pacers team could be winless without Haliburton. We saw them play the Celtics without Haliburton in the beginning of the season, and they lost by 50. And there's a really good chance he is the starting point guard for the Eastern Conference this season. We'll talk about somebody that's been kind of in trade rumors lately, and that's been Lauri Markkanen. Now, I don't think he's actually going to get traded this season, and he is having a very good year for a bad Jazz team. And I'd probably put it at like a 75% chance that Markkanen makes his second All-Star appearance this season. Markkanen is not a reason why they have been bad this season, because he's averaging 24 points, 8.5 rebounds, shooting 48% from the field, 38% from 3, and 84% from the line. They are so much better when he's on the floor for them. And they've had some brutal losses this season as well. I think their record could be a lot closer to 500 than we may think it is. And I think he does get one of the forward spots in the West, because that's like an interesting debate. Like, should Markkanen make it over Wemby? Yeah, but Wemby is more popular, so you never know how it's going to be. We'll always see like a Laker or a Warrior that's not deserving being there in the top 10 when the voting comes out. All right, I was trying to think who I should put at the Pelicans here, so it may be kind of a combo. I'm going to put Ingram and Zion both at 75% chance to make it, because they have both been incredible this year for the Pelicans. Now, there may be a better chance that Ingram gets in over Zion, because Ingram has proven to be a little bit more healthy than Zion at times, but they both have maintained a pretty healthy season this year. Ingram's averaging 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's been super efficient as well from the field. And Zion is averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 56% from the field, and also had one of the most incredible games ever the other night, where he scored 33 points on 11 of 12 shooting from the field and 11 of 12 from the line. He was almost perfect in 33 minutes of play when they beat the Sixers. All right, so next up we have Kyle Kuzma of the Washington Wizards. The Wizards have not been very good this year at all. They are one of the worst teams in the NBA, but Kyle Kuzma has actually been very solid for them, so I'm going to give him a 25% chance on making the All-Star game because he is forward eligible. He's averaging 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists this season for the Wizards, shooting 47% from the field, 36 from 3, and 82% from the line, which are all above his career averages. So Kuzma's actually been pretty efficient this season. It will be tough for him to make it to the All-Star game because the Wizards are really bad. He's maybe not as popular as a player as some of these other guys that are forwards in the Eastern Conference. So it will be tough for him to make it. That's why I'm putting it at a 25% chance. But I do think Kuzma has been good enough where I think it would be disrespectful if I put it at a 0% chance. Let's go back to the East. Let's talk about a forward that is a guaranteed lock, and that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks will also have another Eastern Conference guard making it as well in Damian Lillard. Giannis this year, another MVP caliber year from him in year 11, where he's averaging 30 points, 11 rebounds, 4.5 assists a night, shooting 60% from the field, and is one of the better defenders overall in the NBA. He's given the Bucks almost a steal and a half and block and a half a night, and this Bucks defense would be just so much worse than it already is if Giannis wasn't out there for them. So the Orlando Magic are one of the better teams in the NBA right now. They are the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference at the moment I'm recording this video. So I'm really going back and forth on who their all-star would be. Yes, they could get 2, but I think it may come down between Paolo or Franz. I'm gonna give it to Paolo right now, but Magic fans, let me know in the comments if you think it should go to Franz. So I'm gonna put Paolo at a 75% chance, because if the Magic are gonna be this good, they're pretty much almost guaranteed an all-star. And Paolo was averaging 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists this season. But the most incredible jump from year 1 to year 2 for him has to be in the 3-point department. He was not good from 3 in his rookie year, shooting 29% on 4 attempts. He's taking a little bit less at 3 attempts this year, but he's shooting 44% from downtown. That is just incredible. And Franz Wagner has been playing very well as of late. So like I said, you could give this to him as well. Man, there's so many good Western Conference guards as well. We've already talked about Luka, Fox, a bunch of others we will after this player. But yeah, right now I got to talk about Shea, who's a 100% chance of making it. Shea's averaging 30 points this year, 6 rebounds, 6 assists a night. His 54, 35, 94 splits have also been incredibly impressive from him in year number 6. The OKC Thunder are also the 3 seed in the Western Conference. Another lock in the Western Conference at the guard position is Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Edwards has just been so good for Minnesota this year, as they are currently the 1 seed in the West at 14-4 at the moment. Anthony Edwards also will be in that top 10 in like that MVP conversation, averaging 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists tonight. Good efficiency as well at 46%, 37% from 3, and 86% from the line, and could just really take over the game at times on both ends of the floor. So I had kind of trouble on deciding who's going to be the most likely all-star for the Miami Heat, but I decided to go with Bam Adebayo over Jimmy Butler. So Bam is going to be at a 75% chance at the moment. I think he can get closer to 100% very soon. Bam has really picked up the slack in some of the games that Jimmy Butler has missed. The Heat are 11-8 on the season. Bam has been playing like one of the best defenders in the league. He's right up there in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. He's averaging 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists a night on 52% shooting. All right, let's go to the Chicago Bulls. We'll talk about Zach LaVine. He has a 0% chance at making it. Yeah, I don't think any Bulls are going to make the All-Star game this year. It's weird too, because they're one of the more popular teams in the NBA, Chicago being one of the NBA's more bigger markets. I mean, this Bulls team is so tough to watch. They're 6-14 to start the year. Zach LaVine just got hurt, so he may just miss an extended period of time as well. Heck, he could not even be in the Eastern Conference when the All-Star voting is done. He may be traded to the West by then. LaVine is averaging 21 points, 5 rebounds this season, shooting below average from the field and from 3. And like I said, the Bulls don't deserve an All-Star. All right, we got another Western Conference lock, 100% chance he makes it, Steph Curry. This would be Steph's 10th All-Star appearance, averaging 30 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 48 from the field, 43 from 3, 93 from the line. This Warriors team may be one of the worst teams in the league if it wasn't for Steph Curry. They've had so many off and on the court issues this year, but Steph has still been him. I think Paul George has a 100% chance of making the All-Star game this year for the Clippers. So you could decide between a couple of guys for the LA Clippers, but I do think that they may only end up with one All-Star just because they're around 500 at the moment. PG has been their best player, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists a night, shooting well from the field, from 3 and from the line. And I think he's pretty popular. He's probably more popular than Kawhi and maybe Harden, at least at this moment in 2023. This may be kind of overzealous though. He could probably be closer to 50 or 75% chance than 100. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Man, Trae Young is very inconsistent at times, but his stat line just always looks so good. He's averaging 27 points, 3 rebounds, and 10.5 assists a night. Like, you're averaging 27 and 10. But I'm going to put you at a 75% chance. See, that's why it's going to be hard for like Brunson or Cam Thomas to possibly make the All-Star game, just because there's so many good Eastern Conference guards. And I do think that Brunson probably has a slightly better chance than Young at this current moment, just because the Knicks have been playing better than the Hawks. And Young has been inconsistent from the field at times, shooting 40% on the year, 35% from 3, and 87% from the line. We still know that he's not a great defender throughout the league, but I do think Young is going to be right there and trying to make the All-Star game this season. And let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. They definitely have 2 locks, Devin Booker being one of them, but we're going to talk about Kevin Durant. Yep, KD is possibly an MVP right now. He's shooting 52% from the field, 49% from 3. 49%, that is insane. That's 10% higher than his career average, and 89% from the line. He could have a 50-50-90 season. Oh yeah, did I mention he's also doing that on 31 points a night, 7 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, and has been the Suns' most healthiest player this year because Beal and Booker have missed a decent amount of time each, and the Suns are 11-7 in the NBA. KD might be the MVP right now. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. That is every team's most likely all-star for the 2024 All-Star Game. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these picks or percentages in the comments below. And if there's anybody I didn't mention, also please let me know in the comments. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Drop a like if you guys did enjoy. Also check out my Underdog link where you can get a 100% deposit match up to $100 in the comments below. Use that link. And please, I can't stress this enough, play responsibly. Please only play with money you can afford to lose. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.